Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.
Welcome back to Two Jack Bros. And if it is your first time, welcome to you as well. And thank you for giving us a shot. I am Sidney. I am sitting next to world champion Ansley.
Hello.
And today our guest is none other than the Adam Nutter.
Fuck yeah. What's up? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Before we get started, I have to tell you that Adam has pretty cool podcasts. One, The Cult of Us. I was on that once. Pretty good time. The other, The Porcupine, right? The Porcupine?
Yeah, The Porcupine, yeah.
Which is his political podcast. I
Yeah.
don't know if you're a libertarian or not, but...
Well, it's for everybody. It's just, I do have a lot of libertarian guests, but...
that is what a libertarian would say.
Yeah,
But-
for everybody.
we have to try to get those numbers up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to build that brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of which, I don't mean to interrupt the nature of this podcast, but I have to say, Skankfest was just recently. Down there at Skankfest. Thank you all for all of your, just everybody who came up to me about Two Jack Bros. I had a bunch of people that were coming up to me telling me that we're the only Patreon that they subscribe to.
Nice.
And then I was like, what's your name? And they tell me their name and I would immediately forget.
No.
So I apologize. But thank you so much. It was multiple people. It was definitely a couple guys and definitely a couple girls.
You got that down?
Yeah.
Just say Joe or Anthony. You're
Yeah.
probably bound to nail one of those.
No, there were a lot of like weird names down there. A lot of people. I think
Vegas.
a lot of people were giving me screen names. Do you know what I mean?
Little X.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juicy ass. XX.
So yeah, and they were white people too. So it was really confusing. But no, it was a really good time. So thank you for all. And here was my favorite compliment. I love Two Jack Bros. No offense, but and then
Yeah.
here was the kicker. I just love Ansley. Which is saying something to me. Like, because you could just say, I love Ansley without saying no offense, but.
Yeah.
But I don't take any offense.
No.
Yeah. So, no, but awesome. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate everything. And now we're going to get into this. Adam,
Yes, sir.
do you know what we do here on Two Jack Bros?
I do.
Awesome. And if it is your first time, basically the premise of this podcast is to prove that you can have any type of sense of humor, dark, libertarian, or otherwise, and still reach a higher consciousness or enlightenment, as it's called in some circles.
Yeah.
So what we do is we take our guest, who is today you, Adam Nutter, through the process of enlightenment so that our listeners and watchers can also get to that place without having to do the hard work that you're about to do.
All right.
Yeah.
It's time to dig deep.
It's time to dig deep. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Hey, Ansley, let's go.
Oh, man. It's been so long. I was like, I was just
And this is your favorite? And she's your favorite?
Is this your queen?
Okay.
I'm ready.
You see how professional I was, though.
Adam, what
Yes.
situation or event did you learn the most information from?
Information from, man, I would say it was probably when I couldn't play football in college
Okay.
because I was supposed to, and then it fizzed out like a month before I was supposed to start. And then you just kind of dig deep and be like, do I suck? Like,
How'd you fizz out?
So I didn't fizz out. Make it very clear, I didn't fizz out.
Because I heard him say it fizzed out.
Thank
right?
you.
Fizzed
You
out.
said
Yeah,
it fizzed
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just be
How did
very...
Guys,
It
how do you
fizzed
like
out.
her more than him? That's crazy. Thanks, Sydney. No, so what happened was I got looked at by two schools, Iona, which is like right above the Bronx, and then New Haven, Connecticut. And they're both
We were just at New Haven.
so it's not that big of a town, so you probably saw the fucking college.
Yes,
You
we
drove
did.
by.
We for sure did. We were in the gym
at
of
the
the
gym.
college.
Oh, at the gym with the college.
Yes.
Okay. So they're both D2 schools, and I played safety in high school, and as a 6 foot white guy, it's kind of your options. You know, you have like safety, maybe quarterback. It's kind of it. So I got a partial scholarship to New Haven, not even Iona. They just like you could come here. Iona like you could come here, but I'd rather go to New Haven. So I was like, cool. Then I get a phone call like a month or two before training camp's supposed to start. And they're like, hey, so we have a bit of a money issue and we're rescinding like everyone's partial scholarships. Not just yours, like all sports. It was like a whole thing.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, they're like, you can still come here. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I go to New Haven, Connecticut just to meet? And it was like expensive too. It wasn't like a cheap school.
I mean, was the small print like we don't know how to tell you, but we got black people this year, so
Like everyone play your position. Dude, that would have been, honestly, I would have felt better with that. I'm like, all right, at least they fucking went up in their level.
Okay, so they didn't even get more black people.
No.
Okay.
Mainly whites still.
Okay.
Mainly whites. And then I went to Iona and they were like, too late. Like, we already kind of filled your spot. And I was like, fuck. So then I was like upset and just like, because I thought like the dumb white kid in me growing up in Staten Island, New York, thought like, I'm gonna fucking make it in football. Like me, like out of all the other athletes who couldn't make it in the NFL in Staten Island, like I was like I could fucking no. So then like I did just like a lot of like digging into myself and like I get bettering myself and then it turned out like not I wouldn't say for the best because I don't know what would have happened if I went to college, but I want to play in semi-pro in Jersey for a few years, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So so here our lack of reaction to your disbelief that you could have made it is because we've never seen you play football.
That's fair. No, you were right to not react.
Yeah.
That was the right reaction.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe he had it in him, but it just was mental case. You know what I mean? Like
both things could be true.
Yeah.
Both things could be true. Yeah.
So, but so what did you lack?
I think a lot of it was like patience. Like I lacked a lot of patience.
You wouldn't have been able to look at him and see that. This dude hates holding purses outside of dressing rooms. Look at the way he does these drills.
Patience was definitely a thing.
Patience.
And like I feel like I was owed stuff.
Okay.
Because you were good in high school, so you're like, oh, I should do everything I want.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not how it works. So like a lot of that, like a lot of soul searching is like, do I have the talent, or not even talent? Do I have the mental capacity to like play at a higher level and all that stuff? And then I started doing MMA like also right after that too. Like as soon as I started playing semi-pro, I was like 18 years old. I started like doing MMA too. So like I think I took a lot of the football stuff into like the MMA stuff. I was like, oh, I got to learn my lesson from here and transfer it to this whole different sport now, which is very different than football.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of it was just me trying to better myself as like mentally. And like, especially with patience and discipline and like not being like selfish.
Okay. So is that something? Did you learn those lessons during your deep dive and then go into MMA, or did you have to learn those lessons the hard way in MMA?
No, I started learning before MMA, and then I really wrapped it up in MMA.
Okay.
Once you get punched in the
MMA
face a
will
bunch,
do that for you.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I gotta fucking smarten up here. I'm not better than everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start bowing more.
Yeah.
Before
A
we
little
start
more of these.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you hit me pretty hard. I'm not bowing enough.
Yeah, like I'm sorry I said what I said.
Yeah. Okay. So then, if you had to summarize what it is and distill it into like, or like just like a crystallized sentence, like what was it that you learned from that experience?
Be patient. Things will come, and keep working hard. Don't stop. Don't like go behind the 8 ball because you get sad. It's like bitch thought, which is I know like people are like, oh, mental health. Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. But like I'm fucked up. I get it. But like, don't look down on yourself. Like always be like, I could do it, or I could be better. I could get better in this area. Get better. Even if you're not going to hit the thing you want to hit, doesn't mean you stop and quit everything else. Like you can still better yourself even though you can't hit the goal.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So if you don't mind, so did you find that a lot of the patience you were lacking was patience with yourself?
Oh, for sure. Like,
okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So you were hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So you were a mental case.
I still am.
Okay.
It doesn't change. I'm just better at it.
How many helmets did you spike?
Oh no, not two. One, but that's like that's like because whatever. It's not important. It's irrelevant.
Were you a kicker? How many things did you kick over? How did you throw your fits?
I on the sideline.
Okay.
I would smash my helmet into the fucking benches. I would like knock
He
over.
didn't let go of them.
Doesn't count. That doesn't spike. Is that a spike? That's technically not a spike.
I did one time, but then it broke like everything on my helmet. I was like, never again. Lesson learned there.
Okay.
Lesson learned there.
So that was really a tactical issue.
Yeah.
Your lack of spiking was pragmatic.
I spiked it, and then my visor snapped. I wore a fucking clear visor, and like it all snapped off and like crashed. I was like, oh, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do it. The face mask screws got loose and had like it was like a whole nightmare. So don't do that.
Yeah. Were you the biggest spaz on your team?
No.
Okay.
No, for sure not. There were other kids who were worse, especially in high school.
Okay.
It was definitely worse. Yeah. And then by the time I was playing semi-pro, like more of an adult at that point, so I lessened my tantrums.
Okay.
For sure.
But still spazzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but lesser.
Dude, a lesser spaz is definitely celebrate the small victories.
Exactly.
Right? A lesser spaz is a lesser spaz.
That's what I do my whole life. I just take the small positives. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking doing it, guys.
Well, now. Didn't sound like you were doing that before.
No. Now. No, before I was like,
you got this reputation as a spaz, dude.
Yes. Before, very spazzy.
All right, sweet. So patience. Patience with yourself.
Patience with myself and
else
others.
You be a spaz.
Yes, or else I spaz out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's typically the reason for spazzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. Thank you. I think it's the first like crystallized, direct, applicable thing that a spaz can be like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's be patient.
It's like Spazz 101 if you want to get out of it. It's like learn patience and then don't be dumb. Part 2. It's like learn patience, don't be dumb, part 2. Part 3 is like, we'll figure it out. We get there.
Yeah, because sometimes patience is accepting that it will never happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what a lot of it was for me too. It was like, okay, this is gone. Like it took me a long time to get over the fucking college thing.
When you realized that it was over, did you spaz?
Yes. I was like, no. And then I threw my fucking helmet to my wall.
Are you serious?
No.
I was like, how does that count as a spike?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I did punch a hole in my door, my parents' door, though.
Okay, so you spazzed a little.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm glad to know this about you.
That hole in the door was still there until they moved like 5 months ago. They finally moved, and it was like still they had to replace the door finally.
Yeah.
To sell the house. I was like, well,
did they like give you a hard time about it?
They did at the time initially.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's literally been. I'm 35. I happened when I was 18. So get over it. Get over it, parents. So fucking
that's also fair.
Right? Like replace your door. Stop being fucking lazy. Like, I don't tell
can't
you.
replace your spazzy ass son. You know that.
Can't replace me. I'm the only child too, so you definitely can't replace me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Replace the door.
Replace the door.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now what we do from here, Adam, is we open up your chakra from the bottom chakra up so that you can reach enlightenment. The bottom chakra is, of course, located in your butthole. We have to tell everybody that. Right? You're cool?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Consent? Ace?
Yes.
Let's go.
So, Adam, how did you learn to overcome fear?
By just being afraid of stuff, and then you have to face it. So, like, I know this is really embarrassing, but I used to say I'm allergic to bees because the truth is I'm just afraid of bees, right? But it's way less, it's people look at me, look at the tattoos, they're like, oh, you played football, you did MMA, oh, you do all this stuff. It's like, but you're afraid of bees. They're like, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. So I just I had to kill a whole wasp nest outside my house this summer, and like I was like, my wife was like, want me to do it? I was like, no. I was like, I have to do this to overcome this fear. Still afraid of wasps and hornets, still am, but like I did it. Yeah. I think it's just straight up facing whatever fear you need and just hitting it head on. That's like the best. I know it's like lame and cliche, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like it really is the truth.
Okay. I mean, is it also fair to say that you were also facing a potential bigger fear of having your wife being able to say in perpetuity, well, it was kind of like that wasp's nest that I got down?
Yeah, I don't want to hold that over my head.
Yeah.
In fact, I won't do it because it's lame to do bits on podcasts, but I have a bit about a very scenario like that, exactly with bees. My wife still holds it over my head today, so I can't ever do that again.
Okay.
So that's why I killed the wasp nest this summer. Like, no. You already had yours. This is on me. I'm killing this fucking wasp nest. Yeah.
Okay, so can you remember a time in your life when you were the most scared?
I got shot at. That was pretty scary. But now in the moment, kind of only looking back at it, like in the moment, you're not scared.
Well, I mean, but looking back on it happens like 5 seconds later. You know what I mean? It's not like, or say like 20 minutes later when you're like safe.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, damn, I got shot at. That's crazy. Yeah. That was pretty. Honestly, maybe even just fighting in a cage is really scary because like even though you're doing it, like it's still like, dude, this guy could fuck me up. Like it's a very scary thing to like do. Like no one wants to fight. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no one really wants to. Like it was fun and I enjoyed it and like I enjoyed the sport of it. But like once that cage door closed and the other guy staring at you, you're like, oh fuck, what did I do? What did I do? I didn't have to do any of this. Yeah, I could have stayed home.
So if you don't mind me asking, how did you get shot at?
So this goes into a much deeper background of me. So when so the football thing didn't pan out. MMA I was only doing for fun. I never wanted to go pro in MMA. That was never like a goal of mine, right? That was just like, I want to do this, fight amateur for a little bit, and then like I'll just train. Like so that was fine. That was all good and well and said. But the football thing fucked me up, like I said before. That would really bum me out. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, well, what do I do in life, like from here? So I started comedy at 18. I lived in Staten Island, right? So comedy, okay, cool. Then I'm like 20 years old, doing comedy for 2 years, bombing all the fucking time at open mics and fucking comic strip and all these fucking clubs in New York City because you're brand new in comedy. Fucking. So then my parents were like, hey, comedy's cool, but like, how about a job, like with money? Because you still live here and you're 20 years old. I'm like, fair. So I did what every Staten Islander does. You take a city job, and my city job was the police department. This is before I was a libertarian. This is like before I was into politics.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa, wait. I don't know enough about libertarians to know why you just apologize.
Right now I'm very anti-cop. Like,
are libertarians anti-cop?
Yeah, as a whole, yeah. But
big
time.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy from the belly of the beast. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, what was your job there?
I was a straight patrol cop in Staten Island.
Because he said a job with the police
No,
department.
I was a
He
cop.
didn't say
Cop.
He was
Cop.
a cop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was a
He
cop.
was a beat cop.
And had a car and everything. And then I realized, like, as soon, because I went on the assumption of like, okay, I could get out of like 20 years and out, right? I get a pension. I have all this fucking benefits. 2, I was like, I do enjoy helping people. It always made me feel good. Then I got to the police academy and they were like, you don't help anybody here, psych. And it's like, I feel like I do. And then you start to like look into like political philosophy or just philosophy in general. And you're like, this is like all fucking system and it's bad. And like, and then you listen to Ron Paul and you're like, you got it. And it's like this whole thing of like, okay, I fucked up here. But now I was like in it. I was like fucking 4 or 5 years in, had a kid at the time by then. Now I'm like, I need money now, for sure need money. So, I was like, fucked. I didn't know what to do. So I got shot at when I was a cop.
Okay.
3 times, actually.
It's kind of funny to me that your sordid, dark past is that you're a cop.
I know.
It's so funny to me. He's a libertarian comedian. That you can't get any. I mean, you might as well be a Nazi.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
That's not true.
It is.
That is not true.
Why are you anti-cop?
Why? Because I'll ask you this question: Are all laws just?
I'm not a Nazi. I don't think like this.
Question. I would think it's fair to say that everybody would say that all laws we have in the books aren't just, but police have to enforce all laws, right? No matter why. So like they'll kill you over a fucking cigarette. It doesn't matter. Like your life has no value on the laws in the books. So when plus like they're not there to help you. They're there to do the bidding of the state or the government or whatever leader they tells them to. They're not there to uphold the Constitution. That's all bullshit. Yeah. Right. So that's all nonsense. And like I really learned that hard on the job myself. I was like, I like the Constitution. I like all this stuff. And it's like, nah, we just do what we want here. We do what New York City tells us to do here. Fuck everybody else. Fuck everybody's rights. The way they treated people was awful. Like I fucking really hated it.
I don't get treated badly by anybody because I'm super charming.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I heard people get treated badly.
Yeah. So it was a bummer.
Wouldn't happen to me, but I mean, I get it.
So it was a bummer. It was a bummer. I didn't like it. Hated it. Then I got hurt.
So you got when you got shot at, like what was it was like what was the circumstances?
First time we just got shot at from a rooftop, just randomly.
Sniped at. You were sniped at.
That wasn't a sniper. It was a handgun, but yeah.
A person shooting you from a perched position. That's sniping.
Technically, but with ill-equipped equipment.
Okay. We didn't say he was
sniper.
good.
Yeah, he's using a fucking shitty handgun.
It's a really
like,
bad
people there's levels to shit.
Yeah, he sucks though. Be better. He has to play some Call of Duty ASAP. It just came out. So like, let's get on that guy.
Somebody has to be the worst at something.
That is true. It was that guy.
Yeah.
It was that guy. I found him. It was that guy. That was the first time. Second time.
Did you guys catch him?
Nah.
No.
Didn't even look.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
What is this, like a RoboCop movie? Like, what are you talking about? Like a guy just on the roof with a gun, and you guys are like, yeah, let's just keep it moving.
You just start to know after a while what's up. Like you just kind of
like
get
he
the
wasn't
mannerisms
worth-
of people
Like you
in the
guys
neighborhoods.
read the bullet. Yeah, all right, yeah. That was all right. We're good.
Let's just Freddy up there.
He wasn't even trying to hit us. He's fine. The bullet told me. No, it's just like the guy was just fucking probably drunk on the project building and just fucking taking shots.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Pop shots.
the next time you were shot at.
Next time was through a door.
Okay.
Doing a house call, like
Yeah,
you're there to.
yeah, and shot through the door.
Okay.
And then the third time was also through a door. So 2 doors, 1 rooftop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think they were shooting at the door because maybe they weren't able to play football anymore and they were just upset?
Yeah, it was me. I was the one who was shooting at the door. It was me. But those times were, again, at the moment, adrenaline and you're not scared. But then looking back at it, like, yeah, I could have died. That's crazy. Yeah.
So then are there any comparisons to the type of fear that you have getting shot at to the type of fear that you have going into a ring to fight somebody?
Yeah, because honestly, the getting shot at thing, that fear hits you after the fact. But the fighting thing, that you have that fear leading up to the walk-in and everything. Like, you're feeling that fear the whole time. Like, you don't have a choice not to feel that fear. When you get shot, you're like, oh, I have to react or I'm dead. Like, there's no, like, I'm scared. I mean, they are, but those people get killed, right? So, like, people who panic die, usually. So you can't panic. You just got to fucking do your thing and just go. But the cage walk up, you're like, oh, I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight. Fuck, I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight somebody. It's like, you know what
And I
I'm
can
saying?
totally panic right now, too. I'm loud. Like, nobody's allowed to stop me. I can walk up however I want to walk up. I can do, this is my walk up. If I wanted to panic right now. Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. All right. So we'll consider that a fear chakra unlocked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good fears out of that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the bee thing. So a lot of things.
And
The bee thing.
And then, again, you go straight at it. You fear it, you got to go after
Have to.
it. Yeah.
You literally have to, or you will always fail at that goal. Like, whatever fear goal you set, if you don't just attack it head on and be like, fuck it, I just got to do it, you'll always fall short.
Okay. Noted.
Yes.
Ace, keep it moving.
All right. Adam, this next segment, it's your pelvis chakra, and it's a segment we like to call My Bad. It's an opportunity for you to apologize to a person, place, or thing in order to set your karma back to neutral.
We just got done doing Adam's Patreon episode, and what the fuck? Oh my God. I don't even want to give any spoilers away, but dear God, he's earned every one of those tattoos. Let me just tell you that. $1 gets you all of our exclusive content, which not only includes the counter to this podcast, which we call Two Jack Bros After Dark, where we enlighten Adam's shadow self, which is Adam, apparently. So, yeah, and we also do some fight commentary and analysis on Ansley's jiu-jitsu matches. I also want to say that Ansley has a jiu-jitsu competition coming up that is a fundraiser. So if you want to contribute to that, you have Tap Out Cancer, which is when?
November 12th.
November 12th, and another one.
The other, November 13th.
Back
to back.
13th, and the second one is for the veterans.
The We Defy Foundation.
We Defy.
Yes.
So you can donate, and we'll put a link in the description. Also, if you were at Skankfest and you happen to be at the live taping of Stoner Dads, we might need whatever footage or pictures you happen to get, especially footage. We might be in a situation where we lost our footage and we need to somehow figure out a replacement, but we also might not be. But send it to us if you got it. Now we're going to get back to this episode and find out who or what Adam has to apologize to.
I told a story before on podcast, but when I was a man whore living on Staten Island before I was married, I had sex with a girl and her mom separately without them knowing about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So who are you apologizing to?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Just both. They both hate me still to this day, I think.
Yeah.
How did the pieces, like, how did everybody find out about the situation?
So I was seeing this. We weren't dating. We were just hooking up, right? This is also Staten Island back in like 2008. All right, it was different times. Back then. Before Hurricane Sandy hit Staten Island and destroyed places, there was this bar called the Bistro, and it was like, yes,
It's just funny to me because 2008 was a time when we all thought we were going to live forever. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But we were having a good time.
Yeah, now I think I'm gonna die all the time. I have existential crisis, existential crisis, dude. It's the worst. So there was a place called the Bistro, and it was
what?
The Bistro.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it was like a MILF cougar hangout spot.
Yeah.
Like they went there to fuck younger dudes. The younger dudes went there to be fucked by MILFs. Right. That was like the whole goal. Mm-hmm. So my boys were like, "Yo, we're going to the Bistro tonight." And I was like, "Let's go." Wound up going home with this older chick. At the time, I mean, I was 21, 22. She was like probably 40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, whatever. It is what it is. Go back to her house, wound up doing the thing, whatever. Then 2, 3, maybe even more than that goes. I can't remember exactly. Goes by, but some time goes by,
Wait,
and I'm still
what were those increments?
like 2, 3 a month, 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month.
2, 3 hours, days, months, weeks.
2, 3 went by. You guys know, right?
Yeah, you're right. Fair. I didn't say the time. Yeah. You're right. I was in my head. I answered myself in my head, and I never said it out loud.
Yeah.
Like 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe a little more than a month. But so I'm still kind of seeing this girl, and we're going out, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to drive me to my house real quick? I forgot something." Cool. As I'm driving, I'm like, this fucking house looks so familiar. Like, this house looks so fucking familiar. I'm like, why does this house look so fucking familiar? And then we get in. She's like, come in. I was like, okay. And then it's the fucking mom's like standing right there. And we both made eye contact. And she was like, I fucking just fucked you like a month ago. I was like, yeah. And then she just like pulled her daughter aside. I was like, yo, I think this dude's like being fucking shady. And like, he's fucked me. And then he's seeing you. And then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you weren't necessarily being shady. That was a coincidence, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I got slapped.
got slapped?
I got slapped.
Why?
By the
Because
daughter.
they were both sluts?
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, get your house in order.
By the way, your body, your choice. Let me just say that. I just said that for the joke. It was just sitting there.
I'm serious. Like, you're right. It's on them, really.
He's allowed to think that about my joke. He can think whatever he wants. He's allowed. But yeah, no, that is, they should be apologizing.
Well, because you weren't exclusive with the daughter. Right?
So
Was
I
it
think she
wrong
thought
that
I was.
Okay.
And
at the time that you hooked up with the mom,
yeah.
you were already dating the daughter.
Well, she thinks I was, and I never said no.
Yeah.
So I kind of was being a scumbag.
Key part of that story. So even though you didn't necessarily know that it was her mom, you definitely cheated on her.
Hey, we can use those words, sure.
Yeah.
You can say that phrase.
When you saw them together, were you like, oh, like was like the?
I was like I literally said fuck.
Yeah.
Like this is over. Like,
But like,
this is done.
When you saw the mom before, you didn't have any like, hey, she kind of looks like the girl.
They actually don't look alike.
No.
They actually did not really look that much alike. I think. Well, the dad was in the picture, obviously, right? So.
Because I fucked him too.
So yeah. Well, he was first.
Yeah.
He was ashamed. You would not come back home.
You gotta take the alpha down first.
Yeah, fuck
you
him out of the house.
Dad walks in, he's like, no way. No, so yeah, I think she probably looked more like the dad, I would assume, but won't know now.
One would assume.
Won't know now. So yeah, I was definitely kind of being shady.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. So because this little nuance is I'm hung up on it because I used to be a little bit of a scumbag myself.
Yeah.
And when I look back on those days, I have to be very honest with the fact that even though I was giving these girls the language that we weren't together, I knew that they felt like we were. Therefore, we were because I was allowing them to conduct.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes.
So you were together.
But in her eyes.
Well,
Yes.
but you have to admit, but you're conducting yourself in her
I
eyes,
guess so. It's on me
right?
too.
Yeah,
That's why I'm saying.
yeah,
I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry then too, but I still got slapped.
Now he's sorry.
Yeah. But you did like high five yourself a little bit. Like when you left.
Everyone else was like, bro, that's pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, it was like I fucked. It was like a threesome with like a fucking. It wasn't like a classic porn fake scenario.
It was a classic sitcom scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Less porn, more Three's Company, I guess, if you will. All right. So, by the way, is this a 50-50 apology or a 51-49? Who gets to 49? Who gets to 51?
I guess the daughter would get more of the apology. Like 80-20?
80-20?
80-20.
I think
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, right?
That's totally fair.
Because I mean, she's also got a mom that's going to a cougar bar. Like she gets, the universe
Again,
should
get your house in
apologize to
order,
her.
and then you come looking at me. All right.
Come to think of it, you should only apologize to the daughter. There's no reason to apologize to the mom whatsoever.
You're right, but I guess it's because I just feel bad. I put like some sort of fucking. I was still a cause of maybe like a small fraction in the relationship somehow.
Nah, you were an addition to a lot of shit in that relationship.
No, you're talking me out of this. I'm starting to feel awesome again. I don't know.
The daughter definitely needs an apology.
Yeah. So 99.
Not so sure about that.
99-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, do not let us micromanage your apology. This is your apology. 80-20 is just fine.
Hey, you know what? I could be swayed. If I have a good argument, I'm like, I'll waffle. Okay. I'll waffle. If I can be turned.
Yeah. He has a very libertarian stance on his apology.
If you throw me some good fucking data my way, I'm like, all right, you know what? You swayed me. I'll I'll fucking go with you.
All right. Good to hear. Thank you for sharing that apology.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my bad. More the daughter than mom, but my bad both.
Yeah. Definitely more daughter.
Ace, keep it moving.
Yes. Adam, this is your gut chakra now. So how do you move past disappointment in yourself or loved ones?
When you say disappointed in loved ones, you mean like if they're disappointed in me or I'm disappointed in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's that thing of like, if it's a person that's not me, like if it's relationship wise, you got to value their relationship to you. Right. So like if it's someone who just an acquaintance with and they keep being shitty and you're like, you know what? I don't really got to keep you around. Like, you know, it's like, you're not doing anything for me. I keep doing stuff for you. It's like, another example is my mom who did some shitty stuff to me in her previous years. Not like she never hit me or anything like that. It was like she just stole a shit ton of money from me. It was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. She stole a lot of money from me, put me in the red. I was like, it took me a long time to come back. Then it's like I could still be shitty with her, but like, what good does that do? Like you know, it's your mom's. You only get one of them. Mm-hmm. So like, you just that disappointed me like a lot. Like that sucked, but it's in the past. It is what it is now. Just move on and just. Until she kicks the bucket, just be cool with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to hold a grudge. As opposed to myself.
Yeah.
Well,
if you allow me to translate that for a second. So the way that you deal with disappointment in others is you wait for them to die, right? Is that what I heard?
Or I kill them. One of the two. No, I'm saying
no, patience. Adam, you have to go back to patience. You gotta wait.
Husa. Serenity now. No, but as I'm saying, there's levels to it, right? So like with your mom, you're like, fuck it, whatever. Like I'll let the grudge go. But if again someone who just you're kind of friendly with, you're like, well, I can just drop this now. Mm-hmm. Like I don't need this. Disappointment myself, just work on it. Like again, I think it always goes back to like, okay, well, why am I disappointed in myself? And like I look at the reason why, and like, well, how can I fix this? How can I not be disappointed in myself? You know, do I have to work out more? Do I have to fucking think differently? Do I have to say this differently to somebody? Like whatever the case may be, but always just like excuses are I hate excuses. Mm-hmm. Like something happened in this country, like personal accountability is gone. Like even for like criminals, like you see in the court systems, like, you know, a criminal will kill somebody and be like, well, you were sad. It's like, no, it's like fucking personal accountability, you know? It's like, and like that's gone. So
and the criminal's like, yeah, Adam, but I was sad.
I wasn't lying. So it's like, no, be better, do better. And just work on yourself and change that outcome of why you're disappointing yourself. That's it. Like always just work on yourself and be better. That's like my number one like piece of advice for everybody is like never be complacent.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I always like to ask people this question during this segment, but whether you played sports or did some sort of performance art, was there a particular athletic event or performance where you have a disappointment that still kind of...
Oh, dude, yes, easily. Football, this I'll give you two.
Okay.
One, it was our championship game senior year. We made it to
high school.
High school. We made it to the championship. We wound up playing our rival school in the championship, which is like kind of hard to do because you think won't someone get knocked out by then, right? Like, you know, in a playoff style. I rolled my ankle. Some junior goes in. Gives up a fucking bomb over his head, like a touchdown, right? So then I was like, well, I have to go back in now. Mm-hmm. I'm like, fuck this kid. I went back in. I gave a fucking huge touchdown that wound up essentially losing us the game because I couldn't keep up because my ankle. I was being, again, stubborn and not patient instead of just wasting a little more time. I still remember the fucking kid catching it like over my extended hand. Like still, it's like vivid in my memory. Like fucking me like this, this, and the ball just grazing almost my fingertips into his fucking hands. And then second one was we were playing semi-pro, and wasn't championship game, but it was to get us to the playoffs.
Gotcha.
So we had to win.
Yeah.
And I fucking just got run over. I tried to fill the gap. Football talk. Coming down from the safety position.
I think people get those
try to
terms.
fill the gap.
Fill the gap is pretty... Those are not football terms, brother.
Okay, fair, you're right.
Those are just terms.
Fair, you're right. They're not... They are, they aren't. They're both.
Yeah.
They're mutually exclusive. They're not mutually exclusive.
Gotcha. Means the same thing it does in fill the gap terms.
Yeah, you're right. It does. And I just kind of like didn't get low enough, and this fucking guy was like, nah, and he just ran me right the fuck over and ran like fucking 60 yards for a touchdown because that was like the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And then that touchdown sealed the deal pretty much for their win. And then everyone's like, "You suck." I was like, "I don't suck. I just fucking one fucking play. It's the one fucking play." So those two, like, yeah, are embarrassing because especially like I essentially got dunked on, in the sports terminology sense of like I was
also not a football term, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said sports terminology. I got dunked on in the sense of like, yeah, I was like the guy to fucking let everybody down. But I also, if they played better, we wouldn't have been in this scenario. But whatever, it's still my fault.
Were you danced on in the end zone?
I didn't even look.
I refuse to know whether or not he celebrated.
Dude, once I got ran over, I was like, that's done. That's done forever. So that's just I'm gonna look that way.
Punching your helmet. I
was like, oh!
give me that nutter's helmet.
Nope, just done. Just kept looking down the opposite way. I was like, I don't gotta see what happened. That's dead to me now.
Yeah,
I can't change this.
I love it. I would have to know. I have to know if people are dancing on me. How are they celebrating that? But okay, so disappointment chakra unlocked. Thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah, still bothers me.
Yeah, still even after sharing it. All right, awesome.
Yep, still bothers me.
Yeah. All right, so Ace, keep it moving.
Yes. So Adam, this is your heart chakra. What have you learned from grief?
Like overcoming whatever the case is, like whatever the situation is. So yeah, grief obviously is loss of like life. Obviously is one. So I would say the two biggest things is overcoming that and how you deal with that adversity, and also maybe what you could have done to change that grief before it happened. Again, it's all hindsight, right? You can't know prehand, but like I had a friend who killed himself, and like there's a thing of like I was literally just about to call him and tell him to come to a show. Like, hey, you should come to. I haven't talked to him in a while. I was like, hey, you should come to a show. And he wrestled, like WWE wrestling too. And I was gonna be like, hey, why don't we like go? I'll go to your thing, come to my thing, like come out, have a good time. And then he fucking shot himself. And it's like maybe if I made that phone call sooner, I it probably wouldn't have mattered, right? But still, that makes me go, all right, always check in on your boys or girls, whoever you're close with, to make sure they're cool, and like don't hesitate to just ask someone's okay or ask to hang out or whatever the fuck. And then loss of life is a different way. I mean, just like old age or whatever. Yeah, same thing. Just like tell everybody how you feel in while you have the chance to. Don't let that shit pass, And then as far as in grief, anything else, same answer is like just learn from it. If it's not like a person dying, if it's like a situation like, okay, that's sad, that fucked up, that's done, whatever. Learn from it. Look at it all angles you can. Pick it apart. Be like, okay, A didn't work with B, so maybe C works with B. Or A and B are out, maybe C and D is the answer. And you just got to fucking circumnavigate it all and figure it out and just keep working towards the goal, whatever your goal is, work towards that goal. Don't just fucking quit because something sad happened to you. Like, just keep plowing forward. I know it's like cliche, but it's like the truth. It's just, I live my life by that. Like, you just got to keep working. Don't give yourself excuses. Don't be like, oh, I was sad, or it was fucking sunny out, or like it was dark out, or whatever the fuck the case is, maybe. Just do it. Stop complaining, and just everybody has complaints. Like, everybody's life is worse than yours or not worse than yours. Like, everybody has their own levels of shit. Yeah. Just do what you got to do and fucking move on. Don't complain.
Yeah. So I'm curious, right? So you lost your friend from suicide, right? And you also had to kind of grieve your own loss of identity when you realized that you weren't going to be playing football anymore.
Yeah.
Physiologically. Like, do you remember them feeling, like, I know you can rationalize, like, one is definitely, you say loss of life, you put more value on that logically.
Yeah.
But physiologically, do you remember them, did they feel the same?
It's going to sound selfish, but, like, the football thing was obviously, like, more, it's, like, my direct life and my more personal to me because it's you. Like, and we're all a little selfish at heart, even though we're, you could fucking help out with people and donate and give. Like, you want your best interest at heart. So I would say I was more physically and emotionally. I was more physically bummed out about the football thing, probably more emotionally about my friend killing himself.
I got you.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I know it sounds like it shouldn't, but it does.
No, I mean, but that's why you even ask a question like that, because it's a human answer, right? And people get kind of caught up in the way people should feel in situations. You know, like I watch a lot of judge shows.
Okay. Didn't see how that was going.
Yeah. They're funny to me, right?
Yeah, they are funny.
They're funny to me. But every now and again, somebody will do something and a judge will be like, why would you do that? I would never do something like that. And it's like, yeah, because you're a rational person. Like, that's not a rational person. You're talking to an
you're on
idiot.
that side of the desk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, you got idiots do that shit.
Right.
You know, or these
Yeah.
types of people do that shit. So it's like, yeah, this is a very human thing. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no,
And
for sure. It
yeah.
definitely.
So I thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So heart chakra unlocked.
Yes.
I'm honest, if anything.
Yeah.
I'll say what I feel.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
really matter.
And again, I don't feel like people should feel bad if they have if the honest perspective of a thing is what it is. It's like you can't help that the thing that was more personal to you felt more personal.
Right. It's like, 'cause I still remember like feeling like when I found out he killed himself, I remember where I was. I was like eating breakfast with my dad. I was having like a fucking great morning. It was bummers, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
I was having a great talk with my dad. We had a breakfast at a diner and then I got a phone call like, yo, Joe shot himself. I was like, cool. So that's a bummer. But I remember like feeling like immense sadness and like more of like if for all the weed smokers out there, more of like a head high of like I was more sad up here.
Yeah.
But when the football,
Sativa sad. If you're,
Sativa sad, yeah. I was indica sad for football, right?
Yes.
So like I felt it in my chest, like when the football thing ended. I was like, oh, like I felt like I crumbled into like a goblin almost, like a creature in Lord of the Rings, like a golem. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like I just curled over almost, and like then I punched a hole in the door.
yeah.
I think that is a weird thing. And somebody else on here has talked about that. Like when you lose people, like it is kind of one of the weird things is how life just keeps going. You know, and
Because
like
it's not you who died. And
Yeah.
ultimately, at the end of it, it's not you who died. So
Yeah,
like you get to
yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, and everything just keeps moving forward, and that's kind of like almost strange too,
Yeah.
how it happens.
Yeah. It is. It is. And again, Adam, thank you for sharing all of
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Heart chakra for sure unlocked. For sure. Probably the most unlocked heart chakra we've had on here so far.
Yes.
So new record. Actually, I'm sorry we filled that spot. Sorry, we just looked at the roster. My bad, too. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ace, keep it moving.
All right, we are to the throat chakra. So, Adam, what is a favorite lie you tell or have told? You get extra karmic points if it's still in rotation.
Man, that's a great fucking question. I don't really try to lie ever. It's bad, right? It just because like that. It's like who said it? Lincoln, who was a shitty president, but like Lincoln, who fucking was like not because that's too much to get into. But it's fucking,
I think it would be.
yeah, it's too much to get into.
Why
But
Lincoln was a shitty
because
president.
everyone's gonna think of the slave thing, and that's not what I'm going for.
I didn't think it was.
But no, so everyone else is gonna think about that, and then it's like it's too much to get into. But he did have a good quote. I think he's like once you start to lie, then every lie to make up that one lie. It's like there's too many lies, right? Like you can't keep up with all the lies or the initial lie because it's. But I'm trying to think of like when I was younger, when I was a scumbag, especially like sleeping around and stuff like that. Probably I'm single. That's probably one I had that was a lie back in the day. But that doesn't say I don't really lie. I really don't lie anymore. So I would have to be like probably yeah. When I used to just try to pick up chicks randomly, I'd be like, if I was seeing a girl, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not fucking seeing anybody.
Yeah.
I'm single. Yeah, totally. Yeah, go back to your house. Like that for sure. Don't feel great about that.
Yeah. What was the how am I answering this? So when you're like you say when you lie, you have to have additional lies to back up.
You have to.
Your lie?
Because no one's ever. Everything comes. The truth always comes out eventually. It could be 5 years down the road, but it will always come to light at some point. So it's not worth. Again, learn this as I get older. It's not worth to lie, especially over something fucking stupid.
Yeah. So what was the quickest those lies piled up on?
I think I already told that story about the mom and the daughter.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Kind of. That's kind of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this all checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Not great,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I also sometimes this is the dumb lie I'll have. Sometimes I'll lie about like how well I did in betting.
Wait, in general or to your wife?
No. She does no, she doesn't give a fuck.
Okay.
She doesn't know
To
he's
like
better.
friends.
I don't bet.
Don't mention that around my wife. no, ixnay on the better.
I'm not even here. No, like sometimes, like if all my friends were like crushing bets, I'm like, I also had a good day, but like I went like 0 for like fucking 15. But that's like a rare lie, and that's also if I just don't want to be ragged on.
Okay.
But that's like a rare. It's a rare. I rarely do that. Usually I'm pretty good at betting, but like, but some days are rough. Like two Sundays ago, I went like 0 for 20 on bets. I was like, that's almost impossible. That's
Yeah.
almost as impressive as going 20 for 0. By the way.
Yeah.
When was the? When was?
Just saying.
It's not nearly impressive, by the way.
You're not a better, okay? As far as I know, you're not a hardcore gambler, and you're wrong. That is impressive.
But I'm a human familiar with numbers. And I think
You guys don't get it.
I think one is way more impressive.
You just don't get it. It's just as hard to not get one right than it is to get all of them right.
I understand the statistical anomaly that you're presenting. I understand that. But one is for sure more impressive.
Yeah, I'm just going with my thing. I'm going to keep it that way.
Going with my thing.
It's just as impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm dying on that hill.
So when was the last time that you had a bad day, but you cooked the books a little bit on it?
2 weeks ago when I went over 20.
Like 2 weeks ago, 0 for 20. It doesn't happen very often, but 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I went over 20. Like I said, I didn't win a single bet, and everyone on all my other friends like fucking won all their bets. And they're like, "How'd you do?" I was like,
More impressive, wasn't it?
"Yeah, I guess when you're talking about it like in money, but what's money really? Fiat currency backed by nothing. Who cares?"
Yeah. That's for sure. You got 20 different thrills than they got all day long.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? As those losses were compiling.
it's true. It's like I got sad 20 times, and the worst ones are like, "Oh, that one almost hit. Like that was so close to hitting."
Yeah. Man.
Yeah,
The agony of defeat, dude.
really is rough. I lost like so much money. So I was like, I've won like half my bets.
Okay.
And they were like, "That's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, it's so cool."
Yeah, isn't it cool that we're all like doing okay at betting and stuff? I mean,
It's so cool. We're all up like so much money, and I'm like down $500.
it's crazy we all get betting and stuff, right? We get it. Isn't it crazy that we all get it? All right, cool. All right.
Yeah,
That's a fun one. And that's
Yeah.
a recent one.
yeah. That's a recent one. That's a dumb one. The one I think when I was younger it was worse, objectively. I think lying to other adults about my relationship status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one's definitely more fun.
Second one's more fun.
Yeah.
Second one's more. That second one is pure ego.
Yeah.
The first one's like, I don't want to get caught. This is like a thing. It's like a whole thing behind it. But the second one's like, I don't want to look like an asshole. So
Yeah, the more recent they are, like the more close to active they are, the more silly they are somehow.
For sure. Yeah.
Because it's what you said.
yeah,
It's always what you said. It's it's always somehow an ego thing.
it's
Yeah.
ego based, 100% ego based. The first one is like, I mean, the first lie, the lying up to fuck other people, that's definitely ego based too. But there's other things there.
Yeah, it's-
This is purely ego based.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
Yeah.
else there.
When there's no like ramification, like you're not
Zero.
gonna get in trouble. Like nobody's gonna be mad, but you're like, no,
Exactly.
I don't want.
I can't
that
be
to
a
be
fucking
reality.
loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than-
Nobody will know this about me.
100%.
All right. 0 and 20 might be the name of this podcast.
That's fair. That's fair. I deserve that.
Also, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Thank you for getting to that second lie, Mr. I try not to lie. Dude, every comedian says that.
Really not a
and
lie. I don't
here's what's funny about it. Every comedian says, I try not to lie. And then they start talking. And then before they're finished, they have like
2,
more
3,
current
4.
ones,
Like,
you know?
yeah.
Well, that's what I
Sometimes
was-
we have to stop people and say, dude, we got to go to the next segment.
Like,
I'm so
don't say you
sorry.
killed that guy. It's fine. Like, no, like that's the thing is like, it's like, cause I was trying to think of something more recent, but like, I really don't. So that's the dumbest thing I could think of, and it's also true. So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, that's something at least that's kind of recent.
Yeah, because we do that as humans. Like sometimes something is so innocuous that we don't even count it as a lie.
That's why I had to dig into my bag. I was like, who gives a fuck about that? I was like, yeah, what is funny?
Yeah. All right, Ace,
Yes.
keep it moving.
All right, Adam, we are to the third eye chakra. So we're out of the physical into the metaphysical. So what is something that you've always thought of as separate, but as you've gotten older, you've learned it's really the same?
All politics. All of politics. It's all. Even my dumb party is like, once you start to like really get into it, you're like, nah, it's all fucking the same. Like, yeah, philosophies, sure, but like especially the main two parties, like the left and the right, like they're on the fucking same take. The two sides of the same coin. You know, just for that size of thing, whatever the fuck. But like, yeah, no, it's that for sure. I especially. I have a political podcast. Like I'm involved in like my local party in Bucks County and stuff like that. Like I care about the country and the world and where we're going. So like I read a lot of dumb fucking books of like, especially like philosophical libertarian books, and also like sound like money and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, this is all just the fucking smoke and mirrors. And once you read literally almost anything, you're like, oh, all right, they're just lying to you. like they're just lying to you, blatantly lying to you. They don't care. And like, yeah, it's 100%. Politics is, I would say, number one. Yeah. If you give me time to think, I could probably think of something else, but that's my easy number one answer.
Well, what is the most nuanced similarity between them that you can think of?
War.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
They both love war. Both sides love war.
Okay. But you have to admit, war is pretty sick.
War is cool. Because you get tanks and stuff, but no, war. Truly, war is terrible. So it's like
death and carnage.
Yeah, that's
absolutely miserable.
It's the worst. But the stuff in war is pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah.
The equipment's cool.
Equipment
is cool. Some uniforms are pretty cool.
Stealth bombers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You kidding me?
That does look cool. Nukes, that's cool.
Probably the coolest.
The coolest. It's got whole cities.
It's like the GOAT.
Go to military stuff. Yeah, no, war for sure. Both sides would be like, just, you know, they'll argue about everything else, but then once that war machine starts rolling, they're like, money, print that money. It's like, because everybody gets money from war. It's a profiteering endeavor.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And you got a little nuanced take about the similarities between all of the parties, which is why people never say that.
No.
Each party kind of likes to put out there that they're the party that's trying to stay away from war.
Yeah. That's not true.
Yeah.
It just rotates. Like you know, first you had the Republicans with the whole Iraq, Afghanistan thing, and now you have mostly the left with the whole Ukraine, Russia thing. And it's like, yeah, you guys just want war. There's really no fucking like, that's it. I understand. It makes money. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally understand. You guys care about yourselves, your pockets, whoever deals you have with Raytheon or whatever the fucking company, and then it's like, yeah, and then you just make money, and then we all suffer for it.
Yeah.
That's it. This is war is bad.
Bad music keeps getting cool references.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I remember when the first Iraqi war, and then all rap music was talking about Desert Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, cool gun.
Yeah.
Very cool gun. It's like a 50 caliber handgun. That's pretty cool.
Pretty sick.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Thank you, War.
Thanks, War. We wouldn't have the Deagle without you.
By the way, shout out to our new sponsor, War.
Yes.
Use promo code Jack. No.
just in general for war.
Yeah, for war.
If you just go to war, just yell that out while on the battlefield, and you'll get like a shirt or something airdrop to you in your foxhole.
Definitely get something airdrop to you. All right. So, but thank you. That was a third eye chakra unlocked. All politics the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same. And Ace, keep it moving.
All right, Adam, we are at the crown chakra.
All right.
Last question, 2 parts. All right, what is one thing you can't give up and why? And what would giving it up mean?
Before you answer that, I want to first acknowledge how professional Ansley got after getting ridiculed early on. You got very professional. You did.
Yes,
you stepped it
I'm
up.
nailing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay. So what can I give up or live without? And what was the second part?
And what would giving it up mean?
This is gonna sound fucking lame, but comedy, I think, because like it's so beneficial. Not even for like the job purposes or the money purposes or anything, or it's just like mentally, it's so good for me. Like to get out there and like, you know, go and it's definitely narcissistic for sure, right? I think every comic would tell you we're part narcissistic, but like that side of it away, it's like, no, it makes me feel good just getting my thoughts out there, like making people laugh. Like that's a cool thing, you know. People like, it's a truly joyous thing that people like. We've all, I'm sure you had too, right? People come up to you and be like, I was like, dude, I was sad, and like that joke you fucking told really reminded me of this fucking thing, and then I'm as sad about it as I was, whatever.
Dude, if somebody came up to me and started their sentence with "I was sad," I'm gonna punch them in their fucking face. I better not come up to me and lead with sad.
Happened to me so many times.
Dude, I think people know better when they come up to
like,
me.
you're probably sad too. I can talk to this guy.
This guy gets it.
This guy, I'm like,
This
I
guy
do get
gets
it. So comedy, yeah.
Now people come up to me like, man, before I came here, I was like really jacked, and I'm like, I'm glad that you gave me a good laugh. Yeah, so it's like I get it. It's the same.
Yeah, they see it. They see through it. They see through the facade. Like, this guy's sad for sure. No, yeah, comedy because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you like also that grind part of you. Like, I gotta keep working to get better at. Like everything. It really goes into everything else I said before. Like, keep getting better at it. Keep growing it. Keep growing your brand. Keep working at it. And then if I let it up, I'd fucking kill myself. It's fucking brutal. Like it's such a fucking release, like emotional release. Because like my wife doesn't want to hear that shit. You know, like people, like friends want to hear that fucking shit. That's comes in your head sometimes. You're like, I know who will? These fucking strangers if I make it funny. like that's.
So you're saying if you didn't have comedy, you wouldn't like find a new release like bungee jumping or archery. You would just like talk at people.
Yeah, because nothing else. Nothing else is the same. Again, I've played football. I did MMA. I've done other things. None of those things have the same feeling that comedy brings me. That simple. Okay. So I have done extreme sports. I did two of arguably the most combative sports you could do outside of like hockey. Like,
ooh, I think I have one.
What
if you ran for some sort of public office?
Nah, it's crazy because you
felt that, right?
Yeah,
Dude, we've been sitting here with you divulging the most vulnerable shit, and you're gonna try to act like you, dude. We feel you, man. It's like, so you've clearly considered it.
It's not. I've been because I'm involved in the in the LPPA, which is Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania. I've been asked like, hey, would you think
it's calling you? It's literally
it's not.
calling you.
No, it's not because they could go back on any podcast I do, not even this one, just my own podcast. I say crazy shit, right? And like, I don't want to, and they're going to, sure, they lie. That's what it's about. Like politics games, they'll take shit out of context, but I don't want to explain like, no, I was saying that because it's a joke. Like, you know, like it's like a whole thing. It's like, it's not worth it to me.
But you also have, if you don't really care this much about, or if you, hear me out. If you don't care that much about actually achieving any sort of political office, what do you have to lose by saying, yeah, I said it, and we're moving on to the next thing?
Because the whole point is to help the party get promoted and to get elected, right? And if I'm already not a viable candidate, then I'm just taking myself a libertarian out of the running right away when someone better than me could do that job. Yeah,
but you could be like no, this is just for comparison only. I know this can be a political lightning rod, but I just want to say you could be like the Trump of the Libertarian Party.
Well, that's kind of Dave Smith.
Okay.
That's what Dave does, right? Dave is kind of that guy. And I can't do it as well as Dave can, so I'll let him do it.
All right. That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
I was asked to run for fucking Senate against Fetterman and Oz, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm not doing. Also, they go into your fucking closet and start digging out skeletons. I don't want my fucking wife through all that shit. Like, no, it's fucking no way. I'm good. I'm good at commentating from it on the sideline. That's my place.
I might run for office just because I forgot how much cool shit I've done. Like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, dude, yeah.
Okay. Like, did you bang this lady and her daughter? It's like, yeah, but it's not important. It's like, you know, it's like, no, it's just not worth it to me. Like, I don't have that drive in me to like, and also it is like seeing what they're doing. Also, when you're a third party and you're not the two main ones, you have to do way extra work just to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you have to, like, one of the ladies had to get 5,000 signatures. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going out there and
Door
be like,
to
can you
door.
sign my paper? Like, no, I'll be like, get out of here, nerd. Like, if that was me, I'd be like, I'd be like, fuck off, I'm not signing your shit.
Okay.
I don't have that in me. I don't have I don't have the drive in me to do that. I don't have the drive in me to like run a campaign. Like, the guy we chose for governor just stopped running a campaign, and like the election's like next week. it's like, dude, that's what I'm saying. He's like so much work.
He's running. He doesn't have the drive either, dude.
Yeah.
Are you making an argument for or against this? I'm confused.
Again, my point is, no one even knows who the fuck he is anymore because he quit. He's like halfway through, pretty much. Not technically, but like kind of. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do that. And plus, how would I do all that plus the comedy plus podcasting? There's no fucking way.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind we were presenting a reality where you weren't doing comedy anymore.
Oh,
You
right.
were running
No.
for office instead.
Right. I can't even think that. My brain won't even allow me to fucking
Yeah.
stop, be like, parse it. So it's like, no. So I get, no, still no.
Okay.
Still no.
now that you set the parameters, it's like, all right, nah,
Still
nope,
no.
Nope.
Still,
Not doing
because those things I did still exist.
Yeah.
Right? So like, no.
it. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. No.
Fair enough. Well, you say no, but I'm taking it as he's afraid to think about it because it could become true.
No. I'm telling you no. I'm a betting man and my bets say no.
You're not a good bettor, dude.
Yeah.
I am. I just have bad days. Let's start saying that. Negative karma out here.
All right,
Negative
fair
energy.
enough. Fair enough.
Into my fucking betting world.
All right. He's one with the numbers.
Yeah. You know, this week I fucking crushed it. So, you know, it's just whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. What was your...
I don't have the numbers in front of me. But I can look it up. I can look it up if we want to.
No.
All right.
No, we're good. That is fine. That's my answer. Man, Adam, that is it. How do you feel, man? You feel enlightened?
Yeah, I do. Because these aren't things I normally talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good that now everybody else knows I was a scumbag. And I'm not anymore.
Nice.
I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I'm a good person.
Dude, and we didn't even ask, do you have time to stick around for the Patreon?
Yeah.
It's a little bit
I do.
quicker. But
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
For sure.
Cool. And by the way, our Patreon is just $1. Gets you all of our exclusive content, which not only includes a counter to this podcast, which we call Two Jack Bros After Dark, but also the fight commentary and analysis that we do in Ansley Jiu-Jitsu matches. And they're all queued up and ready to go. So we're about to start recording those actually. So those are going to happen. And you can look at the couples that we already done. They're fun.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through Ansley's World Championship run.
Yeah.
So that should be a
That's
good time.
cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And the Cult of Us, the Porcupine,
Yes, sir.
and at Adam Nutter on things.
On Instagram. So, banned from Twitter. Hopefully, Papa Elon gets me back. So, right now, my new Twitter account is at Tattooed Comic because it's lame and it's the only thing I could do. But it was at Adam Nutter also. So, if that comes back, follow me on Twitter on that. But right now, Instagram at Adam Nutter, at Tattooed Comic on Twitter. And again, youtube.com/Cult of Us, youtube.com/Adam Nutter for all the podcasts and stuff.
You sure you don't want to be a politician, dude?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Head on over to the Patreon. We love you guys, and we are out.
See ya.
Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.